The trial of a U.S. Army sergeant charged in the death of a Chinese-American soldier continues. Jurors have now heard from a colleague of the defendant, Sergeant Adam Holcomb, and two of Danny Chen's closest friends. CCTV's Jessica Stone has been following the trial, and she joins us live in Fort Bragg, located in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Jessica.
Good evening, Elaine. Well, Sergeant Holcomb's attorneys did just begin presenting their defense today, including talking to a soldier about the leadership qualities that Sergeant Holcomb displayed while on duty. Meantime, we are also learning more from the soldiers who knew that Danny Chen planned to commit suicide. Inside this Fort Bragg courthouse Thursday, a new perspective on the man accused. Not a criminal, but a hero. Sergeant David Dumar told the jury that Sergeant Adam Holcomb was being fired at, and he risked his life for me, after Dumar was injured in Afghanistan. Holcomb is facing charges of negligent homicide, reckless endangerment, and assault in the death of 19-year-old Private Danny Chen, October 3, 2011. They met 2 months earlier, and Private Chen had something to prove. He wasn't allowed to go outside the base, and he was frequently disciplined for falling asleep while serving guard duty. Holcomb disciplined him for leaving the water heater on. But in court, Chen's closest friend, Private Brian Johnson, said Danny believed he was getting in trouble for nothing. He wasn't just disciplined, he was repeatedly called racial slurs by other soldiers, including Sergeant Adam Holcomb. It hurt. Johnson told the jury 1 week before he died, Danny Chen appeared broken, but he said he had found a way to make sure what was happening to him would stop. Another friend testified, he told me straight to my face that he wanted to commit suicide because of how he was being treated. But he waited at least 4 days to report what he heard, telling the jury, I didn't know who I could trust because of the things that were happening. The next day, Danny committed suicide. Written on his arm, tell my parents I'm sorry. Johnson says Danny had told him before deployment that his parents didn't want him to join the Army. Quote, he told me his parents were disowning him. And Elaine, of course, during testimony at this trial for the past 2 days, we've heard from Danny's parents repeatedly denying that they told him they would disown him. Meantime, the defense, of course, continuing tomorrow, and they are already trying to get many of these charges dismissed against Sergeant Holcomb. Elaine?
Well, Jessica, there are several other soldiers involved in this case. Their trials are still down the road. Will they have to testify in this trial?
Well, one of them, Sergeant Travis Cardin, is on the witness list, but he has actually decided to plead guilty. We don't know yet to what charges because his summary court-martial has not yet been given a date. But once that takes place, he could conceivably testify against the other soldiers. Elaine?
Okay, Jessica Stone reporting live from Fort Bragg in the state of North Carolina.